Previously on Glystn, everything happened in the chat. Today, we're launching a few new features. We have the feed as well as tracked feeds. A lot of users have been asking how they can keep up with live events, and I'm going to demo that using tracked feeds. So the World Cup is obviously happening right now, and instead of having to jump into Glystn every day and ask for an update of what's going on, we now have the ability to track specific terms, both keyword and semantic, inside tracked lists. So you can just pop in at any time and find feeds about a brand, an event, semantic area, people, anything like that. So here I'm going to track a few terms related to the World Cup, one of which being the keyword term of World Cup. You can see inside each tracked feed, we basically have the week of posts. So here's 19 posts this week. If we scroll back, we see the post that happened last week, etc. So this works like a traditional social feed. I'm going to go ahead and add in a couple more search terms here. I'm going to do one for predictions and analyses, like who's going to win it, tactics breakdown, those kinds of videos, so we can stay up to date with that. I'm going to do one on player storylines, so that we can get another angle on this content. And notice how all of these pull very different styles of content, kind of related to what we're searching for. But these are the things that I want to track about the World Cup in particular. So if I ever want to jump back to the scope of work, I can just come to this tracked feed. Inside this tracked feed, we basically have all the content. So post this week about the World Cup and adjacent things. Because it's just starting, it's pulling in some like general sports stuff like the NBA finals, but that's totally okay. Our intention is very clear on the World Cup. And I'm going to go ahead and roll this in our new feature, the Monday email. So what this is going to be a recurring update. Think like a Glystn managed agent. So if I click add, that takes us over to our Monday email tab, which is my briefing that's custom to me that I get every Monday morning. This allows me to track any of my feeds, which we saw before, or any of my lists, which are groups of creators that I'm tracking in campaigns. And basically all I have to do is add a section into my social briefing. We have a couple preset options. We could just look at outlier posts in that feed related to those search terms. If I was looking at a brand in particular, I could enter this. For example, if I just wanted to look at Nike's mentions during the World Cup, I can look at generic topics. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use generic topics in conversation. So what are people mentioning when they talk about the World Cup? I'm going to go ahead and add that officially. And you can see I already had a feed around the NBA finals as well. And at any point, you can come in and preview the email for that week. So you can see we got a result back pretty fast here. And exactly as we showed up, here's the NBA finals. Here's what's happened during the last game. Obviously, Wemby was the gravitational center of it, which makes sense. We get a couple of quotes of kind of how people are feeling. And we also get hooks into Glystn, as well as a link to the full report. World Cup, I show speed is, I guess, stealing the show. So that's something I didn't know. Of course, Shakira just happened. And that's all being pulled in. Same thing, a couple follow-up prompts. So this can take you directly into the chat. And each one will have a full report. If you'd like, you can send it to yourself as a test, or we can go ahead and just close that out. That'll land automatically Monday morning in your email. So those are our two new features, feeds. Again, with tracked feeds, you can see I have notifications on for the World Cup and for NBA finals here, and the Monday email, which is your way to get content.